They need really good drainage. They need the water to water them and then go away so they can mostly get air, because plants live on air and water. So all plants you have, if you have any plant that's growing anywhere and it's in soggy soil and it's not doing well, it probably needs better drainage. That being said, if you put soil in this pot without anything to block the holes, the soil's just going to go right out through those holes. So the first thing we do is we cover up the holes with a piece of coffee filter. You could also do this with rocks, or you could use a piece of screening material, like where you make a window screen from, or I like to use rocks and gravel. That keeps the soil in. And if you are worried about it moving around, you can put this down and then put a couple of rocks on top of it to anchor it in place. But if you're careful, you don't really need to do that part. So this is the soil we use for our class. And this is really well-drained cactus mix. Cactus potting soil is different than regular potting soil. It has a lot of this perlite in it, and sand, and little tiny stones and things, and pieces of natural, like composty stuff, and that all helps with the drainage to get the water to drain away, and then your plants get lots of nice air, which they totally need for survival. So I'm taking 3 big scoops of the soil for this size pot. And I don't necessarily want my garden to just be totally flat. I'm a garden designer and a landscaper, so I like to have like different levels in the gardens that I create. So I'm going to start with a flat area like over here, closest to where you all are. And then I think I'm going to go up to a little hill where this swing is going to sit. And this will be my focal point for my design. So whenever you think about your design, you want to have, in a garden, you want to have like a thing that's the destination or the hangout area or just the main focal point where the reason why the garden exists. It could be anything. It could even just be a beautiful statue or a pond or a pool. But for this garden, it's going to be this little swing.
That's so cute.
Isn't that cute? So the main trick with making a miniature garden is you want a really firm foundation. So this is the key for fairy gardening, is to press down on the soil and make it nice and firm. And then over here for my high area, it's just going to be kind of a plateau. It's not going to be a rounded hill because I need a little bit of real estate for this to sit comfortably. You know what I mean? I need a flat area, and then there's a flat area here. So I'm creating a flat area up here. And the first thing that you do with making a little garden like this is the foundation, because that's where everything sits. And if it's not a nice, firm, strong foundation, then everything will kind of sink into it and stuff will get mushed around and lost. So it becomes a stronger, sturdier design if we have a strong foundation. So now I've got my little plateau, and on this edge behind it, I might just put some kind of biggish rocks or cobblestone thingies to hold that as almost like a little retaining wall. And for this part, I'm not going to have anything there except I'm going to edge it with plants. So I picked out this beautiful succulent because it looks kind of like a spider web, and my garden is going to be Halloween themed today. And you'll notice when you pull these things out of their containers, you know, they're this tall. But if your pot is only this tall, you need to do a little zhuzhing with your dirt. So I'm just going to zhuzh the dirt gently with my fingertips and kind of scoot it away. But see how the roots are popping out? That's fine. You don't want to tear them off. You want to keep those. But you want to gently zhuzh the dirt so that now you have a much shorter root ball. So this spooky spiderweb plant goes in first, over in this corner. And I'm just going to tuck him in gently. And when you put him in, you want to firm down the plant around the outside of it, around the edges. You don't want to push right on the plant because these guys break very easily. They're fragile. Even though they're tough and sturdy against drought, the actual plant itself tends to break.
Can they go in at an angle if you back it up with dirt on the back side?
Yeah, you could put it in on an angle. In fact, I'll show you how that would look. So in order to do it on an angle, so it's like into the hillside, you kind of could go like that. Good question. Does that answer your question? It does. Okay, so see how he's kind of tilted on an angle now? Mm-hmm. And I still kind of have my plateau, but I'm going to scoop away a little of that excess soil that I zhuzhed. And next, I'm using this plant, which I should be telling you the names of them. Delosperma prunosum. I like this succulent because it really looks like spidery and spiky and scary, so it goes with my Halloween theme. So again, oops. Here's another thing about succulents. Remember I said they break easily? If it does break off, see there's little tiny roots on that guy? You can just plant them. Mm-hmm. Even if a leaf broke off of this guy and the end of it's not broken, mm-hmm, you can lay it on the ground and it will sprout roots and grow into another one of those. Succulents are...
They grow, so if you want to keep this container, as that, say, plant grows bigger, just pull the outside pieces off and stick them in another pot?
You could, yeah. Yeah, you could. And if
keep that one more contained.
Yeah, I mean, because eventually these plants will, like, I said a year and a half, but it might take longer than that. They grow quickly, much more quickly than you think they will, because they kind of look like plastic fake plants, right? Like, to me, this looks pretend, but they're very much alive and they spread like crazy. All the succulent gardens I have at my house, I can't even see the decorations anymore, so I need to kind of redo them, but they're like 3 or 4 years old. So, but that's fun because now I get to do another project, which I love doing. Okay, so now this guy is called Anacampseros. Anacampseros. Beautiful. This purple is amazing. I love this guy. So on this one, I'm kind of zhuzhing the top a little because it seems like it was up way high. Okay, so now I need a hardscape for my garden, and I'm going to use a couple of different hardscape materials. The hardscape is just like pathway stones, things that you walk on, like driveway gravel or a flagstone path or whatever your hardscape could include as like softscape, grass and moss and ground cover too. But that's more like softscape plants. But they do form walkable that I told you I was going to form a retaining wall with.
Like a walkway?
Well, these are going to be the back retaining wall for my plateau. So they'll kind of hold that plateau up into the little hill. The walkway, I usually use those flat stones, or I have broken flagstone, but I forgot to bring it today. But you can make your walkway out of any of the gravelly pebbles or any, you could even make it with this stuff. Looks like grass. So, plain sand first. And you just kind of want to make a nice and kind of pat down on it. Make sure everything looks how you want it to look. If your plants are wiggling around, tuck those in a little firmer. Okay, so now I'm going to make a little grassy area off to the side over here. This is sheet moss, and it used to be alive. They grow it and then they scrape it, and it's like a dried flower. So this isn't moss that'll grow, but it is a pretty decorative item, and it can live on your garden for a long time. Eventually the sun will bleach it out a little, but it still looks really naturalistic and fairy-like and pretty, so we use it a lot for our little gardens. So I'm making a little grassy area over there. And then I think I'll have grass underneath my swing as well, just so it's a nice bucolic setting. The other nice thing about when you start adding your decorations, these little toys and trinkets can help anchor your grass and whatnot into place. See what I mean? How it's kind of like not going anywhere now? Because that's right there. So now, I think we have a beautiful area for our swing, which totally works for me. And then again, with the spiky metal, boom, your grass is not going anywhere. So that's what we got going on right now. Now I think we need a little more hardscape, and we need maybe a little path that comes up to our beautiful swing. So I'm going to use the black sand and the black pebbles, and I'm going to make kind of a path that starts out wide and gets skinnier and skinnier. Need a couple of these black flagstones. Will you grab me a couple of flat rocks, please? And now, once we get some flat rocks, I might just put those over here and have another kind of subtle little pathway. But in the meantime, I might decorate this little area with a few more of these boulders because, thank you. Because they kind of really add a real landscapey element to these little plants, and they make it really look like a full-size landscape. See that? Okay, so in order to use this guy, I think he needs to kind of be here. So when you're sitting on the swing, you can warm your toes. This little path can go over here, which will be kind of a little stone patio walkway. And that looks really, really sweet. See how that works? And it all starts to come together. And then in between those, see how you're just kind of seeing soil and beigey sand. I'm going to put a little more of the gray sand down first and some more of these pebbles, so that it ties in with that part of the garden, so they all go together. Because you want different areas for your garden, but you want them all to kind of harmonize and invite you in and blend in and, you know, be inviting. Because that's what a garden is. It's an inviting space that's tranquil and beautiful. Okay, so far so good. We've got a beautiful fire pit. And now we've got a lovely little kitty cat lantern, which can darken the way for people who come in. And then glowing little jack-o'-lanterns. A spooky witch broom can be over here. A cauldron over near the fire, because that's obviously where you make the brew. And a hat. kitty cat. Now I'm going to help you all make your gardens. So, you know, the first thing you need to do is to grab your coffee filter and then come over by the soil. And
I'll take two.
like your path.
That's nice.
Some to this boy over here. Okay, right.
Wow. What is it, like a pool? Should we put rocks around?
Oh, that's pretty.
Okay, what kind of, so should we put these glass rocks? These pretty glass ones? Okay.
No, that's for the river.
Well, let's see. Let's put them. Here, you do it.
He likes the grass for some reason, so I just let him fly with it. I love the grass.
I would like to add a little bit more.
It is. It looks like he's in
Can I add just some areas? And if you don't like it, you tell me. So you have you don't like the grass? You want to make it a round or a line? I heard the word line. So this is house too big. Or this is too big. But you like the one on stilts? Oh, those are cool. Yeah.
You know where that is, Chucky. He knows where that is. Oh, let's do
Yeah, in the middle.
Okay. And do you guys have enough spring rock?
I think you do.
This looks like a witch drowned.
Do I put rocks now or not?
You can put the feet like that's
Cut it off right there like that.
pretty.
What's inside here?
Did you guys use all the leaves?
Should I put the house like this?
For me, it looks like a little
Oh, that was so nice of her. And then pull out the end. I really think it was.
But where are you walking up to?
Excuse me? Yes. You know what you could do? You could stand like.
Where am I walking up to? Oh, you know what? Let me take the white one.
Want me to do it?
Oh, really good. No, let's add a few. We want to find some white sand. Just dust it.
You totally do.
Oh my God, look.
It's perfect.
What's that look like? That I put around.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what she
Then
said.
it kind of looks like
Oh, right there.
a tree house made of moss with brown color.
I love the house.
We're just saying in the
back.
trellis, so pretend like those are the trellis onto this guy, and you know what I use? Rocks.
Get it where you want it.
Couple.
You want these?
Here, let's try a couple.
want one of these?
Just for a placeholder. And if you don't like, they're kind
No,
of.
I keep them. I like them.
They look like they're.
I like them.
Look how perfect the back looks.
Sue, let me take a picture of you with your thing.
Okay.
We take the mic.
Yeah.
So anywhere there's white rocks, no, just anywhere there's white rocks. Take a picture? Oh, girl. It's too low there. Here, turn the plan around.
I made it so cute from the back.
Wait, why can't you?
They had more like
Here, the black camera looks a little more finished.
Don't put it in the pack.
This is where you're walking.
Got it?
You know, I like the
Oh, okay.
Okay, look. It doesn't matter, does it?
And then there's someone else.
So cute.
And then I'll
Make
keep
a flat area.
Do you like the skull on the?
Yes, I do.
And then
Like what? Like
what I mean? How I flat